So welcome back to Gorgeous Nails by Dannii. I've just done all the boring bits. I've infilled and I've colour changed my previous design, which was the dark purple stilettos. And I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but I'm doing a Pokemon set. So I've done a green nail, because I'm going to turn that into Caterpie, a yellow nail, I'm going to turn that into Pikachu, pink nail for Jigglypuff, like a mauvey purple nail. I only had metallic, but the actual Pokemon is obviously not metallic in colour, for Butterfree. And this, I was going to turn into a Pokeball, but I decided everyone's already done that, so I'm going to turn it into a Voltorb, which is the Pokemon that looks slightly like a really angry Pokeball. So let's get started. Like I said, I've already done the colours to match the Pokemon that I'm doing. And now, with the custom pink I've made up to match the Jigglypuff nail as closely as I could, which was just some NSI hot pink, I think it is, or is it fuchsia pink? Oh no, tie-dye pink, and Gorgeous Nails Snow White, just to get the baby pink look. I'm going to do Jigglypuff's 3D locker hair. Is that a locker hair? I don't know. Whatever Jigglypuff has up there going on, her quiff. Yeah, I think if Jigglypuff spoke human, she'd call it a quiff for definite. So I'll just put a couple of blobs on, right in the centre, well, off centre, because obviously I've got to curl it round. But you want it to look like her little quiff. And don't worry if you don't get the whole bit down in one go. I'm just going to arc this bit round to do this bit of the quiff. Pad that out because it's thicker at the top. It does kind of blend into her head slightly there, but not a lot. It's got like a, definitely stands proud. And this bit, just push my brush against it to start it curving round how I want it. Some more acrylic. Take the liquid out the back of the bead and join it on to get the rest of her curly quiff going on. Push it from this side and touch autofocus, see if that helps the situation, shall we? That might be better. Kind of push and curl and push and curl, and it kind of curls back on itself. It doesn't come to a point, it just kind of, I've got a picture on my laptop here that I'm looking at. Hope you guys are in shot. Pad that out. It looks like her. I think it's getting there. Super cute, super cute. I might add, because see how this bit dips in, I might add a tiny bit more there so it's got a proper plumpness to it, because her quiff is definitely like plump. Well, she's a balloon based Pokemon, so she's all plump. And I must say, she must be like my favourite Pokemon. Not that I'm a pink person, as everyone knows, but I'm definitely plump and aggressive. And we know how aggressive Jigglypuff gets if you watch the series, the original, with the 150 original Pokemon anyway. I lost track after that. I grew up, well, she says grew up. I got older. Does that count? Just pushing some little tiny beads to smooth it out. You know, like some kind of wettish beads. Any bits that I'm not so happy with because it's either slightly lumpy or I can see a brush stroke in it. I'll add a bit of acrylic to give it that proper plump effect. Does that look like Jigglypuff's quiff? Oh, I think it does. Super cute. So right, I'm going to use some white. Some gorgeous now Snow White. And do her big eyes, because I think her eyes should be not 3D protruding, but stand proud of the nail. I'm not going to make them dome, they're just going to be big flat white discs, but and they are. Needs a bit more. Her eyes are bigger than that. Do two. Let it mattify a bit, because if you're trying to do a circle and you don't let it mattify, when you go to press it flat, if that's what you're doing, you'll end up with a really smushy circle. See, like that? I barely touched it. I touched it 3 times and it's almost perfectly symmetrical. And it stands proud enough to be an eyeball. I mean, I will play with it a little bit more because I'm a fussy madam. But you know, if you can get to where you just pat it 3 times and leave it, that's great. But I want it a little bit flatter, so I'm putting a little bit more pressure. Gets it a little bit bigger. A little bit cuter. Let's just hope I can fit the other eye on the other side. Although this picture I'm looking at, she's looking at an angle, she's not just straight onto the camera. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking with it. A bit more. Let that mattify a bit, and as I push it over, I'm going to push it over that way slightly. Can you see that? Trying to get it symmetrical as I can without touching, because she actually does have a gap between her eyes. I need to kind of keep that gap, keep it round. I've also got some Ocean Drive by NSI. I'm going to try and use this to do the centre of her eyes, which is like a bluey teal. So I'm hoping that turns out the right colour. We'll soon see when I dip my brush in it. Yeah, that's the right kind of green I'm after. And I will have her looking off to the side in this one as well, because that'll explain why the eyes ain't totally even. Plus, I think if she's looking straight forward, she'll look a bit stoned, I think. So I'm putting a wet blob of acrylic. Well, not mega wet that it's runny, but I don't want it to be too proud. Almost like painting with acrylic, you know. Thin layer. Over like that. Let's do this one. Centre of the eye for now. While I pat it into place. And then I'll push it up closer to one side than the other to give her the appearance of looking this way up the finger. If that makes sense. Alright, so then I'm going to give her the white twinkle in her eye. Just another small dot of Snow White. Just a small dot up here. Can you see that? Do the same on the other eye. I'm not even going to press it. I'm not going to finger it. I'm going to leave it so it's slightly domed. Let it settle and do its own thing. This one, yeah, like that. And that one should settle and disperse slightly, but keep its round symmetrical shape. Then I'm going to get some black paint, if I can open a bottle, and it's just that cheap one off of eBay, which, like I said before, is great for nail art, especially if you water it down a little, but not great for one stroke because it's just not pigmented enough. And all she needs is a little curve to her mouth. Like that. Her arm, just like in the picture, coming across her body, which is basically just a little triangle, like that. I could do the other one, but the other one she's waving, so I'll leave it. Just neaten up that little line there, it's driving me mad. What? This is where I mess it all up. So I'll let that dry. Then what I'll do is I'll gel top coat, because it's already been gel top coated, but I'll re-gel top coat all the bits apart from the 3D bits, and then the 3D bits I'll probably put brush on glue on so it's not as shiny. And then we'll be back to do, I think I'll decide what nail next anyway.